If you keep the scope of your life very limited, let's say just your education or your profession or your family, then maybe 90% of things happen your way, 10% of the things don't happen your way. But if you expand your activity globally, then you will see only 10% happens your way, 90% doesn't happen your way. So if you're the freaking kind, then you will break yourself down. So one thing we need to understand is that if mentally, emotionally, we are freaking out on something or the other, I want you to understand there is no complexities to this. To make it very simple, you are freaking whenever things don't happen the way you think they should happen. Hello? Do you understand this? Your only problem with life is, it's not happening the way you think it should happen. Hello? That's all. If it is not happening the way you think it should happen, maybe it is happening somebody else's way and somebody else is happy. Yes or no? And most of the people in the same breath, they say they believe in God, so maybe it's happening his way. So essentially, it's not happening the way you think it should happen. But look at the way you're thinking. 2 years ago, how you're thinking, and today how you're thinking, is it the same? No. So you are glad those things didn't happen. But it takes 2 years to realize that I'm glad those things didn't happen. A whole lot of things don't happen. So what? The important thing is, how profound and how exuberant is your experience of life. Life is not that it must happen your way. If it happens your way, what does it mean? What is your way? Right now what you know, from that you concoct something which you call, this is my way, isn't it? Nothing here is permanent. That's why it is super valuable. Tomorrow you may be gone, I may be gone. That is what makes it super valuable, isn't it? So, make this happen that you in your life, you will not waste your life generating one negative thought, one negative emotion, one negative word, one negative nonsense. Do what really matters, because it's so brief and so precious.
So, your good intentions are not going to save the world. How you are, and how you are will change only if you can breathe, walk, lie down, sit down joyfully. If you cannot do this one thing, everything else will be just poison, whatever you do. Only when you're pleasant within yourself, you feel pleasant about everything around you. Only when you feel pleasant about everything around you, you move around with a certain sense and value to life around you. Otherwise, it doesn't matter how much morality you carry in you, how many scriptures you remember, you will find ways to do the cruelest possible things. So the first and foremost business, the first and basic responsibility for a human being is how he sits here. Are you sitting here joyfully? Are you sitting here with some misery being manufactured in your head? This is the foremost thing that you have to attend to. Only after that everything else. Because otherwise nothing else really works, please see. Whenever you feel very miserable, always the thought comes, you want to end your life. You don't take action on that, but thought comes, isn't it? Yes or no? You try this, 24 hours you remain in misery. You always entertain yourself with a television or a book or a friend or something. Don't do that. 24 hours just remain in misery. Within 24 hours, you will get serious thoughts that you want to end your life, for sure. Because nobody can bear misery more than for a few minutes. More than a few minutes, you need a diversion, otherwise you'll go crazy, isn't it? To understand misery does not work. That's not the way to conduct life. Whatever may be your life situation, whatever I'm saying. Whatever may be happening with your life, there may be many things in life. whatever it may be, you are better off than when you were born, isn't it? You came with nothing, at least you got something now. You are on the profit side. Look at the beauty of life. You came with utterly nothing. Whatever may be happening, you are still in profit, not in loss. So you cannot complain. Isn't it so? So, don't try to think your disease away, think your misery away. If you think your misery away, ailment or no ailment, we'll see.
We don't know how to keep ourselves well. We think for everything there's a solution outside. No, this is an integrated life. This has everything within itself to be healthy, to be well, to be sane, to be joyful, to be blissful. It's got everything. It's come with everything. It's just that we're not accessing it because nowhere is it being taught. Everything is turned into a fad, everything is turned into something. Now people are predicting a suicide pandemic, as if mental illness pandemic is not good enough. Over 7,200 children below 15 years of age committing suicide. Why 12, 13-year-olds want to commit suicide when you should be bursting with life? When you are 12, 13 years of age, you should be bursting with life, but they are wanting to kill themselves. We are fundamentally doing something wrong, isn't it? Otherwise, children, why would children want to commit suicide? But it's going that way everywhere in the world because we have not addressed the human being. Yoga is needed. Yoga does not mean twisting and turning, yoga means turning inward, finding the source of who you are, touching that intelligence within you which is beyond your psychological and physiological process. This needs to happen to maximum number of people. Whatever your life situation, disease, death, divorce, whatever the hell is happening in your life, even if the worst things are happening to you, still there is no reason for you to get frustrated, miserable, depressed, whatever, because you came here with nothing. Whatever is happening, you're anyway on the profit side. And there is an assurance when you go, there is nothing to take. What are you crying about? What is it? No, you know what they said, what they did, they looked at me like this, they said that, they did this, they did that. It doesn't matter who did what. Just see what a dastardly thing you're doing to yourself when you make yourself miserable. Nobody has to do anything to you. If you are making yourself stressed, frustrated, miserable, depressed, you don't need enemies, you're on self-help and you're doing great. It's time you get out of this.